What's up guys, it's Olivia and welcome back to the channel. This week is debate week and I've decided to debate whether or not cheering is a sport. If you guys don't know already, I am a cheerleader, both high school and all-stars, and this is something I strongly believe in, and I'm sure a lot of people would also agree, but there are some people who claim that it's not, and I just want to say cheerleading is a sport. One sec. I want to start off by saying the definition of a sport. According to dictionary.com, the definition of a sport is an athletic activity requiring a skill or physical prowess and often a competitive nature. Let's go through the list of the parts of the definition. An athletic activity. Yes, I consider myself an athlete, as cheering is the only sport I do. Athletic being I'm not sitting down at a table doing nothing. I'm moving. I'm doing things. I guess that's it, all I have to say on that thing. Requiring skill or physical prowess. If I really wanted to, I would show you guys examples of how you need skill to be a good cheerleader, but I'm too lazy to do that. But, I mean, in order to progress, you need skill. I mean, that's really the same thing for, like, anything. But for sports, it's like you're working on certain things and you're trying to perfect them, and getting better at the sport as a whole. And I'm thinking right now of soccer and how you can get better, become a better goalie, become a better kicker, or whatever. I don't really know soccer, so I'm kind of just going out on a limb there. But same thing with cheering. You practice stunting, you practice jumping, you practice tumbling. So I kind of only see no difference in that. Often in a competitive nature. Now this is kind of where I feel like some people don't get, I guess. The kind of cheering I've been doing for 10 years of my life, I obviously haven't been in high school 10 years, and as you guys know, if you're in high school or you're about to go into high school or you just know, at football games, the high school cheerleaders obviously do sideline cheers, which, I mean, that part, I mean, it requires a lot, it requires a lot of effort, and it's not the easiest thing to do. Well, I mean, for me it's not that hard, but whatever. But also, high school also has competitions as well, but for the first 10 years of my life, or I'll say 8, for the first 8 years of my life, I wasn't in high school cheering, but I still continued to cheer, not Pop Warner, because I was not into that, at an all-star gym where we competed around 10 times, I think that could be off, but I'm pretty sure it's around 10 times a year to go to try to win. I guess some people would argue that, oh, but you're not playing a game, like you're not going against one person. So I have been competing, and that is a competitive nature. Same thing with high school cheering. We compete depending on how far we go and how many invitationals we go to. We compete anywhere from 1 to I don't know, I'm going to say 5. That's probably a good estimate. So that's all in terms of the definition. Now, an argument, because I can see how some people would find that it's not a sport because they only know the type of cheering that's rah-rah, go team, let's win, or whatever. Like, I only started doing that last year. I've been doing that for 2 years. Not once before that have I ever said a cheer saying, go team. Like, that's not the only thing cheerleaders do. We're not only there to cheer on the people who are playing the sport at the actual sporting event, because cheerleading has sporting events of its own. Now, I remember something in 6th grade. We had a debate over this in our English class. I don't know why. It was, I don't know why we did it. But this guy in my class brought up, well, cheerleaders are cheering for the team, so who are the cheerleaders for the cheerleaders? Because apparently every sport has to have cheerleaders, right? No. My school at least, because I know other ones cheer on basketball, some do hockey or something, I don't know. We only cheer on football teams, so I don't see the soccer team getting any cheerleaders. I don't see the field hockey team getting any cheerleaders. So a sport doesn't need cheerleaders to cheer them on to be considered a sport. A sport can just be a sport without needing specific girls or guys. It doesn't need specific people to be cheering them on to be considered a sport. And same goes with cheering. Also, one of the people who works with us, because technically, I'm going to admit this, technically, not technically, speaking of actuality, cheerleading is not considered a sport because it doesn't have the proper safety gear, proper equipment sometimes isn't available to everyone, stuff like that. And it's, for sometimes it can be very unsafe, and because cheerleading is not considered a sport, we don't get that kind of safety, because when you're playing football, you're obviously making contact with other people when you're tackling. But with cheering, when you're stunting, we don't have anything to protect us. Whereas football players, they have helmets, they have shoulder pads, knee pads, I don't know what else they have. But they have all that stuff. But when we compete, we have our nice uniforms, we have our nice bows to protect us, which it doesn't. I've gotten a few bloody noses from cheering. I've sprained my ankle multiple times, broke it doing cheering. So it's not like cheering isn't a dangerous thing either, because it's considered one of the most dangerous sports out there. And also, this other kid this other friend, told me that cheering isn't a sport because it's an extreme sport. And he says extreme sports also include dance, figure skating, gymnastics, skiing, snowboarding, I think stuff like that, because instead of playing for points, I guess technically you're playing for points anyway, but instead of just two teams going against each other, it's multiple teams or people trying to get a score, depending on what they do. I mean, that kind of sounds the same as normal sports, but I guess it's a little different, but I don't know, I think that's all I wanted to say. I probably didn't make any sense during this because it's kind of rushed, because I'm actually about to head to Jingle Ball. So I think that's it. If I missed anything, oops. But that's just my argument as to why cheering is a sport. If you disagree or agree, and you have other reasons, or if you disagree, you can tell me your reasons. You can comment them down below. Because I'm actually very interested to see what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stuff will be in the description. See you guys next week. Bye!